Hello, all. Welcome back to Star and Flurry. Glad to have you aboard. So I have been ever since the deccan. It's the first day of the deccan. I have started to reconsider my deck library. Not in a bad way, just that I have too many. It's almost like, by the time I went through everything to find images and cards that I think would work for me during this deck and walk, I found that many of my decks were not capable of the task, or at least not, or maybe I wasn't capable of working with them for the task. So that got me to thinking, how many decks do I really need? I guess when you think about it, it's not so much about need as it, currently, it hasn't been about need, it's been about want. Because as I've mentioned many times, and have made several videos regarding how much I love my decks for various reasons and blah, blah, blah. But it almost makes it too hard to figure out which ones to use. Does that make sense? Um, just like I don't know. Like once I decided on some decks to work with the deck, and I'm kind of like, well, why do I have all these others? Now, with that being said, I've got like a couple to show you, not one specifically, but yeah. So I don't know. So I'm uh, kind of thinking, what I'm going to do with that. It's almost like I have too much for dessert, which reminds me of a very funny story, by the way, which I will tell. As I've mentioned often, I was in the restaurant business for most of my career, mostly event planning for the latter 12 years of it. But at the beginning, I was floor managing big restaurants up in the Seattle area, and we had a management team of four, one GM and then us underlings, and we were in need of a new manager. One had chosen to leave for whatever reason. I don't recall what it was. And the next thing I know, one of the managers from our quick service restaurant shows up as the new manager. And I was a little surprised because um, obviously they hadn't consulted me, but as they rarely did, ever. Not about consulting. They rarely consulted their managers about anything. They just would decide these things up in their ivory office towers, as if they knew what was going on the floor, which they didn't. So, um, but anyways, so he shows up and he's gonna be our training manager. And I was a little concerned because this guy was a little rougher on the edges. You just never knew it was going to pop out of his mouth, and he hadn't been in this kind of atmosphere ever. And so I was really worried about that. So, nonetheless, they put him. He needed to learn the ropes, and so he'd never waited a table in his life. So they put him on the floor so that he could wait tables and learn the ropes. And he made every mistake there was because we generally would hire seasoned servers. This was a busy, busy place. You needed to come in and kind of train on the frickin' system and then hit the floor. We didn't want to teach you the rudimentary art of service. But that's where we were at with this kid, and that was fine. That was fine, and he was picking up on it pretty fast. But there was still that, every time we sent him out to the floor, he'd be like, what's he gonna bring back to me today, kind of thing. And so to set up this story, I have to tell you that we had instead of a dessert menu, we had a dessert tray, and so it was a tray that would get set up in the morning that featured whatever our, let's say, six desserts were for the day. Now, these things were set up brand new, fresh, so they were gorgeous at lunchtime. But by the time dinner time hit, they were a little worse for wear, mostly because they'd been out to a million tables. Guests did not select desserts up. They said, "Ooh, can I have one of those?" And then we bring the tray back and we get a fresh dessert for them. So, and when they came back to the back line, they were supposed to go. We had a fridge back there that held three of these things, and it was supposed to go right back in that fridge, but they never do. Any restaurant who tells you they do that is like bull. They're pulling some wool over your eyes because you just don't have time, at least in the busy restaurants. So, but that was okay because we weren't serving it. It was just, it was display basically. So this kid comes back, comes the first I hear he's coming around the corner with a tray in his hand, and there's two desserts missing, and he's got this kind of look of go what I'll call him Bob, for lack of a better name. I said, Bob, what? And he's holding this tray, and there should be 6 desserts, there are only 4, and I'm like, what happened? I mean, I'm thinking, did they fall off? Did they fall onto a table? What happened? And he goes, oh God, he said, I went out to this table, it was 2 businessmen, and I took the tray out, and I had to get coffee for the next table, so I just set the tray down. I said, gentlemen, take a look at the desserts, and let me know what you'd like. I'll be right back. And he went over and got coffee for these folks. He came back. These guys are finishing up the 2 desserts they've picked off the tray. These things have been on the tray, not refrigerated. I mean, let's face it, desserts are not disastrous in terms of, sugar, I mean, cooked, they're not horrible mounds of disease after a couple of hours, but you still worry about them. Anyway, so these 2 guys had picked 2 desserts off the tray, set it in front, and ate them. And when Bob got back to the table, he said they were virtually done. And of course, my mind is now racing. Like, oh, frick. What did you say? What did you say? And that's basically what I said to him. I go, what did you say? And he goes, well, I didn't know what to say, so I just picked up the tray, and I said, so, I see you had dessert. Can I bring you some coffee? Yes, please. And he walked back, and that's when I saw him, and I'm like, okay, maybe he is cut out for this. This thinking on your feet. Good job, Bob. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. And I praised him afterwards. I said, I'm not sure I would have come up with that thought without letting it slip that they should not have eaten those. And, so we all waited for 24 hours waiting for the phone call that, hey, we had dinner at your place and we were sick all night. But that phone call never came. So thank God. But that was one of those disasters that you just, oh my God, what are you going to do? Welcome to the restaurant world. Anybody who's in it knows has a million of those stories, and I'm one of them. And if you're lucky, you'll get more of them. So my rant is this. I've gotten away from my rants recently. Life has been good. Nothing particularly weird going on. Transactions I've made have gone smoothly. Knock wood, cars are all running. Probably jinxed it now. I did get a tower card next to the Chariot earlier today, so it's like, uh-oh. So drive carefully, or not that it's officially related, you know what I'm saying. But anyways, hopefully that will stay that way. But my rant is this. I've been going back and forth about ordering the Zodiac Tarot, and I finally did. I kind of forgot that I did, but I was very excited that I did when it arrived the other day. But here's the deal. Really? If you're going to make these boxes with boxes that just fall out. Now, I have to say, I got a deck a little bit ago. It's a gorgeous deck, and I paid a pretty frickin' penny for it, I might add. They came in a box. It was really lovely. It was one of those pull-out boxes, had the little ribbon, and you pull it out. No, the box would not pull out. I needed a pair of pliers, literally, to get the box out of the box. That annoyed the crap out of me for as much as I spent on this deck. But I just said, okay, it's the universe saying this deck needs to go in a different cover, and that's what I did. But that's annoying too. But this, where literally it's that loose. I have to hold it tight sideways to keep it from doing that. But if you just hold it regular, boom, out it falls. And I'm like, if you're gonna do that, do it this way. How hard is that? That's not hard at all. Okay? This should be on top. This should be reversed. This should be like this. And then when I get the deck, I myself have to tip it over to pull it out. I'm in control. But when it's like this, not in control. Deck people, who is this anyways? Who did the U.S. Games? You should be wiser than that. Of course, you're all about putting your logo everywhere, so I know you're not listening. But honestly, this is just... I have a couple of boxes like this, and it's just the worst. Now, who's the other one? Who's the one... there's another... What? I don't have one handy, otherwise I'd bring it up here. But it's one that has... It's almost like a... It's like this kind of box, but underneath it's a magnetic, so it'll still hold it. But when you get ready, you undo that and the cards come out, which is great, and I don't mind that at all. It's gonna drive me crazy. So that's my rant. U.S. Games and any other manufacturers who make these boxes, stop it. Don't do that. This is stop. Yeah, either do the side or I don't know some. This is just not good. I have a couple of decks like this, and the cards always end up all akimbo at some point when I've forgotten that this is the way they open. So that's my rant for the day. Nonetheless, I love this. I love this deck. I will show you pieces of it. I think it's a pretty standard deck. Top of the box. It also has a tuck box. So I guess if the cards fell out, they'd fall out in a big lump. But nonetheless. And these are still in order. I did work with them, but I think I was putting them back in order for some reason. They're really lovely. And they have the, is it the planetary sign on it? And then they have, I think, the, I haven't done a deep dive on this yet in terms of what's on here, but I believe that it's got the constellations associated with the cards in some form or fashion. And then the planetary, or is it the astrological? I don't know. That's a piece of the puzzle I haven't quite figured out yet. But really lovely cards, and I love this Chariot card, except for the reins. If they just left the reins out, this would almost be a perfect Chariot card. It's very pretty, and I do like the Hermit. Per usual. So that's a lovely deck, and it's, I was going to say, it is not, briefly going into some of the, so, and it's not a pip deck, so for those who are curious. And it's colorful, and it's almost fairy tale like, I guess, is almost, you expect a movie to be made from it. Like, or that there was a movie. Maybe there was, I don't know. But it's like, was there a movie made of this? Because now I'm all out of order, which is typical, but is that... Sorry. Stand up there, completely out of order. But anyways, so that's a very fun deck. So aside from the packaging, which while sturdy and solid, and even the tuck box is very nice. It's a little annoying. And it's got a lovely... a lovely guidebook, which, as I said, I haven't had much of a chance to read through, but it is in color. I'll give you a little preview there. Not that that really matters. I don't assign value to colored pictures in a guidebook. It just adds to the cost because I've got the card, so, you know. But I always appreciate it when it comes that way, so there's one thing. So the other, so I have two more to, no, do I have two more? Yes. So the first one is, I saw somebody do this on I think it was on an underrated deck video, and I just fell in love with it, and it just came today, and it's called the Animal Spirit Tarot Deck. And it's based on animals from around the world. So it starts out, I got it, sorry, I mixed it up. I was goofing around with it today. But so that each continent is represented. I believe it's continents. So, and then this person was actually kind of saying, I don't quite understand the animal affiliations, because there's the Three of Pentacles, and then the three keywords, which in this case are talent, recognition, and teamwork. And then the animal is a marten, and the key word there is curiosity. And it's kind of like, I think this person was kind of saying, I don't quite understand where the Martin comes in and why curiosity has anything to do with the Three of Pentacles. And I think that it doesn't. I think it's just, I think this is kind of a tarot oracle in the full sense of the word, because I ran into a lot of kind of discrepancies in that regard. But isn't that Martin cute? Oh my God. So this reminds me of a time when I was dating a fella in college whose family had a piece of property up in the frickin' Nowheresville, Colorado, way high up. What did he call it? I think they called it a ranch, but it really wasn't a ranch. It had a bunkhouse, and we went up there one time during the summer for we had a week off or something. I mean, I was visiting. I don't remember what it was. He was from the Denver area, and anyways, so we went up there. I mean, this place was amazing, out in the middle of nowhere. Out in the middle of nowhere. Not a sound to be had. A million stars in the sky. It was the most amazing thing I did. And high up. I don't know how high up, but probably at least 5, 6, 7,000 feet. Stunning. And he says, let's catch dinner. And I'm like, what's for dinner? And he goes, fish. Which I hate, but nonetheless. So he grabs his fishing pole. It's, some bait. Just whatever. And he's kind of looking at it going, I think this bait is really old. I don't even know if it'll work. And we went up to this creek that ran through the property, and he throws the fishing pole in, and literally fish are jumping out. That's how many fish are in this creek. It was incredible. Big trout. I think it was trout. Beautiful. I couldn't believe it. They were just aplenty, and they had never been fished in their lives, I don't think. Nobody knew. None of them knew what a hook was. They saw food, and they were like, we're in! And then we said, yay, thank you. Thank you, universe, for providing dinner. But anyways, I was back to the Martin. So I had gone for being an introvert that I am, that I didn't realize that I was at the time. I needed to get out of that house we were hanging out. I think we'd been together for like 48 hours straight, and I was like, done. I love you, but I need to go away. And so I went for a really long walk, which is, I didn't think anything about it, I mean, I spent a lot of time on Mount Hood as a kid, and, you just run around and you don't think twice about it. But it was a lot more populated. So it wasn't like there were bears running around or anything like that where I was hanging out. But now I'm in the wilds of Colorado, and I didn't even think about it. I just go walking down this country road, this pitted country road that we had driven up to get to this place. And all of a sudden I hear this scampering, and I turn around, and I think it was a Martin. It might have been a weasel, but I'm pretty sure it was a Martin. And he was up on two of his legs and just staring at me like, hello. And of course I had no idea whether this thing was going to attack me or whether it was, who knows, And of course that was when the reality hit me that, oh my God, I'm in the middle of nowhere. There could be a bear. There could be cougar. I don't know what kind of things live in the Colorado Rockies, but whatever. So I kind of just backed up, kind of nodded. How do you do? Nice to meet you. And backed up. And when I got far enough away, I turned and walked away. And that was the end of my private, introverted, by myself time for the rest of the trip, because I was like, I don't want to make that phone call. I got attacked by a lion, Mom, sorry. Well, I know we're not lying, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, so that was a fun trip. Okay, so anyways, so here's some more cards. So Knight of Wands. So the keywords here, I'm going to try to read it on the screen, are action, adventure, and conquest. And then the animal is a jaguar, and the oracle keyword is knowledge. And I think that's very cool. And I love these soft, kind of watercolory, muted. So, and I think this was the one she had a problem with. The Fool, which was innocence, wonder, and new beginnings. And then Dog for loyalty. And she was like, there's a disconnect there for me. And I go, well, I think it's not meant to be connected. That's what I decided. And I'm sticking with it. Again, I don't know if this comes to the guidebook or not. Does it? It doesn't say anything, or does it? Have I not read far enough? I don't think it even has an online PDF. So I think you got to figure this out on your own, which is fine. So did I show that one already? Knight of Swords. I did not. Discipline, power, truth. And the animal is the tiger. It stands for courage. Two of Swords is the lemur. I love lemurs. Is that a crossword puzzle clue with that in it today? Decision, choice, stalemate. And the lemur is the animal, and the keyword is respect. I really like how this is put together. I won't read all of these, but I'll just show you some. Do a kind of a quarter walkthrough here. And honestly, if I could figure out how to do an overhead shot, I would. But I cannot. I mean, I can figure out how to get my camera situated, but I cannot get my camera to display on my Mac screen, and my eyes just aren't good enough to see the whatever it's called, the view screen on the camera, let alone get it pointing the right way so I can try to see it. So I've kind of given up on that until I get wiser on that. I may have to make a trip to the photo store, see if they could talk me through it. So, oh, here's so cute. I keep going to stop it. The next one's just getting cuter. Penguin, Reliance, Moose, Two of Wands. And of course, the Wheel of Fortune is Destiny, Destination, Karma. And the animal is the eagle. Anyways, beautiful deck. Highly recommend it. The author is more Tarot, Oracle, Lenormand Runes, I Ching decks you can buy online at Tarot Oracle Store. And it's just World Wide Web, TarotOracleStore.com. Tax-free and worldwide shipping. There you go. So anyway, and it came with a very nice woodsy colored bag in cellophane, and I just love it. And I believe there was also a sticker included. So how about that? Love. And then the other one that I got, I saw this, is it this one? No. Oops, wrong one. Is, well, first of all, I have to show you this. I got another bag for Prairie Moon. So it's got the planets on it. Isn't that gorgeous? And like the Hermit Lantern. And the in Saturn, I just love it. It is housing my newly edged Enchanted Forest there. But the other deck that I got, and I'm keeping it in this fun Danica bag, and I bought some charms on. I gotta show this all off. So I bought some charms on Etsy. So first of all, get my hand out of the way. Sorry. Well, here. So I got these got this kind of zipper pull on Amazon. I thought it was really cool. So like a Celtic knot. And then I got these also, and I got to go this way because they're backwards. Also just Etsy charms. Like this purple one has the, if I could get my fat fingers out of the way, show it off. Hello. I can do this. Honest, I can. Well, it's kind of hard. Anyways, it's a purple kind of enamel thing with a little moon on it. And then a star and a little, I think this is carnelian. Little carnelian moon right there. Isn't that cute? Anyways, and this is a pouch from Danica Studio, which is the perfect size for most decks. So I'm very excited. In fact, this is the same brand that I got that cool one for the Fyodor Pavlov. I should show it to you again. Where did I put it? Oh, right here. This one. Then I put a little purple thing and a sun charm and a star on this one too. But this one for the, isn't that beautiful? Oh my God. It goes with the deck so well. I'm so excited. So that's also Danica Studios. I found that at Powell's, but I went online and I actually found Danica Studio has a website and you can order pouches from them. But be mindful of the size because the first order I made I was so excited about, but when they came they're like gigantic cosmetic bags, which is not, I mean, it'll be fine for some, I do have some gigantic decks that they would work for, but that was not what I was looking for. I kept them anyways because they'll actually make I've got a couple of I'm gonna make Christmas gifts out of them. Fill them up with fun stuff and zip them, tie a bow around them. But this is like a 5x7, something to that effect. But look for the small, and just be sure to check the measurements because it does vary. Anyway, so the deck I want to show you that I saw on, I don't know whose website, and I can't believe I'm not seeing more of it. Oh, and I'm not going to have the author either, am I? Well, you can look it up. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is it. It's called the Magical Nature Tarot, and it's by the Sync Spirit Collective. And I just Googled, I'll put a link down below, but I just Googled Magical Nature Tarot and it came right up. These are the backs. And they're made from, first of all, the paper. That was one thing I meant to mention about this deck, the one I just showed you, is the paper is kind of thin, so it's not great cardstock. On the other hand, for small hands, I can shuffle it. So it may not last forever, but it'll get used because I can shuffle it without issue. And thank you for that. And the same goes for this. Now this is made, you can look on the website, this is made from some kind of special cool paper. And I don't know if I can get close enough so you can see the texture in it. But the images, I believe, are paper collage. And they're all in these beautiful natural colors. And the way they're photographed almost makes them look like they're like been just like taped. It took me a minute to figure out are these images on? I mean, are they imprinted or are they actually separate pieces of paper on the card? But they are. It's like a photograph on the piece, so it's one solid piece. But so that was what the Empress, 9 of Pentacles. And then there's an online guidebook, which is very, very out there. So I'm choosing to kind of stick with more traditional meanings. Although they do, she or he or whoever invented this did alter the court cards, and so the Queen takes the place of the King. They've got different names. I can't for the life of me remember what they are right now. I should figure this out so I don't keep you in suspense. So there's a mentor. Sorry, I should have done this before. Ancestor. Seeker. And apprentice. So let me show you these. So it goes seeker, apprentice, mentor, and ancestor. And the ancestor represents, so here's the Seeker of Cups. So that would be the page. The apprentice, which stands, I believe, for the knights. The mentor of cups, which is the king. And then the ancestor of cups, which is the queen. Which, you know, not too weird. I can figure that out. Here's the world card. I don't know, show this. I just think that's so pretty. That's what's on. This is the image that's on the box. These are so, the dreaded Three of Swords, but even this is just stunning. And it's a reasonable price for an indie style deck. Some people may be, yeah, here's the Ancestor of Wands. And I think that probably there'll be some people disappointed in the cardstock because it's pretty, I don't want to call it flimsy, but it's soft. Four of Cups. I'm trying to keep my fat fingers out of the way of the image, sorry. God. Wow. I'm very excited to work with this deck. I just think there's a beautiful Ten of Swords. I like that there's no blood and the person's protecting their head. It's almost like a yoga pose. Five of Cups, head in the hands. I was looking to say, but are there only 4 cups there? Oh, no, there's 5. Okay. I love this one where it's kind of the overhead 3 of Cups. So anyways, if you're looking for kind of an earthy deck to calm you down, which is, you know, kind of always in my wheelhouse, as they say, or as I say. 6 of Cups. Oh, this is just 5 of Pentacles. Strength. Even the Tower is just gorgeous. Kind of looks like a cooling tower, doesn't it? Or, you know, it's funny, when I lived in Seattle and I would drive down to Portland a lot, there was a big cooling tower right at Klamath? No, not Klamath. Klamath? Just kind of outside of Hazeldale. About maybe 30, 40 miles north of Portland. And they finally took it down, and it still to this day shocks me when I get there and it's not there. It's kind of like, yay. So anyways, I'd highly recommend this deck. Once again, it's the, if I get the thing shut, the Magical Nature Tarot. So anyways, that's all I got going for today, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below. Okay, have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.